as Stuart Cummins leads out the visitors this evening. St Helens led by Kieran Cunningham, and it's a first return to Odsal for the most expensive man in rugby league. Paul Newlove comes onto the Odsal Stadium for the first time, but Cunningham is a real star. And there is Paul Newlove, 15 caps for his country. He has had 20 tries this season. He's approaching 250 career tries now, many of them on this pitch at Odsal in his previous career, but now very much part and parcel of this St Helens side. The league leaders and the men that they are facing tonight are the men from Odsal, the Bradford Bulls. And out they come to a cacophony of noise from the terraces and from the fireworks. Will other Super League clubs please take note? This is the way to promote this wonderful summer sport. The atmosphere at Odsal these days is absolutely electric. It's all to do, obviously, with what happens on the field, and Brian Smith has got a side that's on the verge of the title, but it's also to do with the way you entertain your supporters, both before, during and after the match. And Bradford have got it absolutely right. This is the team: Spruce at fullback, Tamani, Calland, Loughlin and Scales, Bradley and Paul. Up front, McDermott, Lowes and Furbank, Doniger and Nicol, McNamara at loose forward. Christie, Knox, Medley and Tomlinson waiting for the nod from Brian Smith to get on. St Helens, Prescott the fullback, Hunt, Gibbs, Newlove, Arnold, Hammond and McAtee, Fogarty, Cunningham, Leatham, McVie, Pickavance and Northey, bench Morley, Haig, Perolini, Hayes, coach of course Sean McRae. Match referee is Stuart Cummings. David Campbell, the original match official, has pulled a groin muscle apparently, and he is out of tonight's match. But one top referee steps out, another steps in for what really is the match of this round 15. The Bulls against St Helens at the very top of the Stone Super League. And it's the Saints kicking from right to left in their blue and white second jerseys who get the game underway, and Sonny Nicol, first run against his former teammates.
You can just sense the atmosphere out there. Both these sides, they know they're going to charge into each other. There'll be no prisoners tonight. 2 points vital. Bradford need to win to have a chance for the title, and of course the leaders Saints 1 point ahead of Wigan. It's all to play for.
And Wigan, don't forget, playing tonight against Castleford as well. This is Loughlin, who's been released by Robbie Paul. Support there from Scales. A good tackle from Prescott, and it had to be. The Bulls examining the league leaders in the opening set of 6 here. They're up for this. The ball is dropped, though, and St Helens have it back in the shape of Andy Northey.
McNamara just couldn't drag it in. It was beautiful work on the blind side, though, from Robbie Paul. They were caught there in defence of the Saints. Couple having a rest. He picked it out quickly. Sent the big centre, Loughlin through. That was a chance that's gone begging, though. Beautiful work there, and you can see how they sucked the man in.
Great run from Loughlin against his former club, of course, and a match this that 24 hours ago he wasn't playing, and he was suspended for 2 games. But the Disciplinary Appeals Committee overturned that ruling this afternoon, and Loughlin is here to play his part, and as is John Scales.
And playing the part there, John McAtee. That was a superb kick downfield. Weighted to perfection, and the chase was there. Well, a bit of a let-off there, the Saints. They were caught having a bit of a sleep on the blind side.
Carl Furbank driving it in. The tackle is by Derek McVie. Furbank plays the ball to James Lowes. He gives it to Brian McDermott, the prop forward who has played the last 30. His run started at St Helens in November. This is Jeremy Doniger, wrestled to the ground on the halfway line.
Be interesting to see how they use Jeremy Doniger. Normally they use him out wide in the centres, but it's not a bad kick.
It was a super kick. It hung in the sunshine, and it was a good job that Northey was there.
Took it well under a lot of pressure. McNamara steaming down on him. But you can expect them to use the kick. You can see the shadows there. The sun right in the Saints' face. It'll prove a lot of problems early in this game.
Good toss to win, I fancy, Steve-O.
Certainly is, but they'll apply the pressure, providing they use the kick, and I'm sure that Brian Smith will make sure that his charges do just that.
First touch for Paul Loughlin in St Helens colours at Odsal. Roundly booed, and the tacklers Nicol and Bradley cheered as they bring him to the ground. I'm sorry, I think I said Paul Loughlin and I meant Paul Newlove, the number 4 for St Helens.
Nice little chip over though by McAtee. Good change of tactics there. Anticipated a kick deep. Just chipped it over the defence and they let it bounce.
This now is Doniger again for the Bradford Bulls. Good tackling by Ian Pickavance. Furbank now will take it over for the Bulls. Dropped 10 metres inside his own half of the field. Lowe's inevitably the dummy half. Sonny Nicol. Great cheer when Nicol gets the ball, of course. He had so many good days at St Helens himself.
He'll want a big match, that's for sure. It was a good run there by the big forward.
Long ball to Robbie Paul. Further out wide, it goes to Loughlin. Loughlin tips the ball back infield to John Scales. McAtee coming across to make sure there was no second progress. Kick straight up in the air from Paul again. And Prescott has lost it. Luckily for him, though, the big man was there, McVie.
Well, was he interfered with? Not according to the referee, Stuart Cummings. Robbie Paul putting a lot of pressure on the fullback, Steve Prescott, who did well to palm it back. Well, the tactics, we talked about them early. They're spot on so far.
Newlove again. Great cheer as he's grounded, having made no progress whatsoever upfield. This now is Adam Fogarty. Kieran Cunningham, the captain for the night, to McAtee, and he gets the ball away to Norby. Good tackling from Furbank and from James Lowes. Carl Hammond now on the halfway line. He is grounded. We saw Bradford in attacking mode last time we were here when they ran in 12 tries against Sheffield, but last weekend at the London Broncos we saw them with a really tight defence, Steve-O. They have the ability now, both in attack and defence, to maybe get a result here tonight.
Well, they could do. Brian Smith, the Australian, has worked hard, and interference had to play the ball. Fogarty not getting back the full complement of 10. You could see he had about 6 to choose from there. Well spotted by Stuart Cummings. Fogarty, the big prop forward, he knows how important it is for him tonight. Really has got to lead by example. A lot of problems in the Saints camp with injuries, but they've still got the stars out there.
This now is Bradley. Bradley with a great run, and the prop forward Adam Fogarty stood up to him. 2 tackles gone. Bradford are in the danger zone. Furbank stands, gets it away to Paul. Paul gives it to Nicol. Nicol changes direction again. Straight up the middle for Sonny Nicol. 3 tackles gone. 6 minutes of this match. Chances for the Bradford Bulls. Good defence from St Helens, and again defending the run from Stuart Spruce. Lowes is there. He held on, delayed the pass, gets it away to Furbank. This is McDermott. McDermott got the call from Furbank, who was in support. Now it's Doniger, and again desperate defence from St Helens to keep him out. Last tackle here, and this is Bradley going for the corner. Crunching tackle.
Now Alan Hunt got the fingertips to the ball, but did it go backwards, or was it a knock on? There's Bradley trying to get the ball through, and it's deemed that Alan Hunt has knocked it down. Well, that looks to me as though it's gone backwards, but either way, well, he's given it head and feet to Bradford. Bradley gets the ball out wide. Hunt definitely got a fingertip to it.
And that's why Bradford are in possession with Bradley, who stands in the tackle and gets the try. The tackle wasn't completed, and Bradley stepped out of the challenge and just dropped over the line. Well, what a start for the Bradford Bulls. The Australian Graham Bradley gets the first try.
Just like Superman, stands up and no one could go near him. Did he have kryptonite? I can't believe the fact that they had him down there. Alan Hunt had his arms around the legs and they allow him to spin out. Well, we saw clips of Bradley before the game started, how strong he is. He just spun out of that tackle. Well, questions will be asked. Now, this is the incident where I don't think that was a knock-on. It went backwards, but referee Stuart Cummings was in a very good position. And from the resulting scrum, the big fella, look at this. Hunt just let him go. What on earth were they thinking of? He knows he should have been finished off, and there was no one there.
McNamara with the chance for the extra two, and gets them. Steve McNamara with the goal-kicking responsibility for the Bulls these days, and Bradford have a 6-0 advantage. What a start.
Work on the blind side. Again, they're catching them out. Look at that. The stanner just spins in it. Hunt saying, where on earth is anyone to finish him off? That is woeful defence.
Well, Graham Bradley wreaking havoc early on here on the blind side. That ball is out on the full. Scott Gibbs took a gamble, and the gamble paid off for him.
Hard to see there. We couldn't get a clear look at it, but see the touch judge. And on the line is out. It's a good decision. Well, a bit of a let-off there because Saints really do have to get into this game. 3 clean breaks they've made of Bradford Bulls on the blind side. The message must get out to them. They've got to move up both angles, both sides.
Pickavance wearing the head guard. Cunningham was the dummy half. McAtee. Good defence again. Nicol and Bradley in very quickly as McVie started off on a run. Cunningham, dummy half. McAtee to Newlove. Roundly booed. Crunched in the tackle. Joe Tamani gets the biggest cheer he's had in his Bradford career. And that's great defence again from Bradford. They're swarming round the man carrying the football. Hammond will hoist the kick. It goes off the outside of his boot, though, and it goes almost straight up in the air and straight down the throat of Paul Loughlin. Bradford back in possession. This is Sonny Nicol. Good tackling this time from Saints.
Well, there's a buzz going around this stadium because that was not a knock-on in mine.
From that knock-on that was adjudged by Stuart Cummings, the referee put the scrum down directly from the scrum. Bradford score. This is Spruce. Spruce on a terrific run, cutting back on the inside. Newlove brings him down. They're screaming for a penalty. Referee says play on. Tamani, that's a knock-on.
Yeah. Well, he saw the one before, and Tamani, he knows he's done wrong. The opportunity was there. Beautiful run, though, from the fullback Stuart Spruce to start with. Well, they are making big holes in this Saints defence. There we see 10 minutes into this game and 6 clean breaks. They really are just ripping the Saints defence apart.
Prescott was the dummy half, and this now is Pickavance. Now Cunningham, captain, as I say, for St Helens. Away form will certainly make or break their championship ambitions. 5, including this one, of their last 8 are away from Knowsley Road for the Saints. It's been a wonderful season so far. Can they keep it going as they approach the home straight? McAtee with another kick downfield. This time easy for Stuart Spruce to collect, gather his thoughts and then set off on a run. Important match here at Odsal, of course, an important match at Central Park as well. Later score there, Wigan 6, Castleford 2. And it could be the night when the championship swings in Wigan's favour if the Saints lose here, but we shall see.
Well, that ball appeared to be played forward then. Made a real mistake of it, but he couldn't see it, and I can't blame the referee, Stuart Cummings. I don't think he can see because of the sun in his eyes.
Scales, what a run from Scales. John Scales, just lost his footing. Just tripped over a rut in the Odsal surface. Bradford aren't finished, though. This is Robbie Paul.
They're having the time of their life out there to the Bulls. This Saints defence is absolutely shot to pieces.
McNamara to Donegan out wide. Try! Loughlin! Paul Loughlin gets the try. And And Loughlin, his 6th Super League try, but one against the Saints. He will relish that.
Once again, they work the blind side. It was a beautiful dummy. McNamara to the second rower, Donoghue. He put the arm up. Donoghue did well. We saw against London last week that Donoghue played very close to the ruck. Not today. Again, blindside work. McNamara held the ball through. Scott Gibbs came to him, so did Hunt. Easy. Having the time of their life, McNamara threw the dummy. Look how the big second rower Donoghue came through. Good positioning by Paul Loughlin. The Bulls are running riot.
Well, Loughlin cleared to play at lunchtime today and makes his presence felt. Steve McNamara now. Managed the conversion earlier. This slightly more difficult, but in wonderful kicking form. Steve McNamara. Oh, it just went the wrong side of the post. Little shake of the head from McNamara. Bradford ahead 10-0.
See the two defenders there. This is Super League, not come dancing. You can't hang around like that. Unbelievable stuff. Great play. Superb pass by Donoghue.
And that will be a dropout from underneath their own posts by the Saints. It's going from bad to worse.
They really have lost the plot, I'm afraid. Or should I say they never really started. And no wonder that Steve McNamara's got a smile on his face. He's just calming things down.
By the way, that Paul Loughlin try that we saw a few moments ago was the 96th of his career, and 80 of those tries came for St Helens. How sweet that moment will have been for him. Because I think it's fair to say that Loughlin, when he came over the Pennines here in the move that took Paul Newlove to St Helens, didn't want to come. Nicol, he gets a try. Sonny Nicol against his former club too. The reluctant heroes for Bradford. First it was Loughlin, now it's Nicol, and they are dancing on the Odsal terraces. They can't believe this. The leaders are being ripped to shreds.
One team that can't believe it are Saints. Once again, McNamara, look at that beautiful delayed pass back on the inside. And Sonny Nicol puts on the speed. No one at home. Not a finger was laid upon him. Look at the skills from Steve McNamara, the dummy, then the delayed pass. They'd all gone the one way. No one pricked it. Ian Pickavance went through. No sliding defence. The result, a try.
And Sonny Nicol marks his first appearance since Wembley, first start, that is, in the Bradford Bulls lineup since Wembley with the try. Well, what a start for Brian Smith, the Bradford Bulls coach. Planned all week for this, but is it the start that even he cannot believe? Just the other side of the post, so close again. Bradford 14, St Helens 0.
Watch how Steve McNamara brought the man on the inside. They both went the same way. Pickavance went for the same man. The gap was there, eagerly taken by Nicol.
Well, the Saints have won the last 6 between these two over the past 3 seasons, but they are up against it now already, 14-0, and this is going to be a real test of the league leaders. And Sean McRae, their coach, anxiously watching from the trainer's dugout. It's a wonderful start for Bradford. It's a woeful start for St Helens. He won't be happy with what he's seeing. St Helens, Cunningham gets the pass away to Hammond. It goes back to Prescott, and Prescott under pressure can only kick on the last. It's a nothing kick because there's nobody there, and Scales is able to amble along to pick it up before heading off back up the other end of the field. Halted by Norby. Prescott was under pressure. He really shouldn't have been the man doing the kicking then.
Well, this was the night that we thought that Saints really had to stand up and be counted. We knew it was going to be tough here at Otzel. But look at the scoreline. 17 minutes gone, 14-0. This is a blitz. The crowd are loving this.
Well, they are if they're in the colours of Bradford. I'm not so sure about the many thousands who have journeyed across from Knowsley Road to be with us tonight. Bradford still in possession. Nicol plays the ball. Lowe's a lovely delay pass to Callan. Callan looks inside. The support's there from Bradley. Bradley to Tamani. Oh, it's another try. Unbelievable stuff at also. The Bradford Bulls are in rampant form. It was brilliantly collected by Bradley, and then he passed inside to Tamani, and he was unmarked. He strolled under the sticks.
The delayed pass was out of this world. On the blind side again, look at that. They got it away, and Callan just raced in. Bradley supported well. He took that ball, reached out, and Joe Tamani races underneath the sticks. The Saints are just ripped apart. Look at the blind side. You saw the second marker. They went again the same way. You have to share the work. They failed to do it. Outstanding try. Great support play by Bradley and Tamani. Wonderful stuff. It was Lowe's that released the pass to Callan. He delayed it so well. Bradley reached forward. Numbers out wide. Tamani.
Steve McNamara then from bang in front this time, and he makes no mistake from there. And Bradford now are running at a point a minute, and they've got 3 tries in the last 5. 20 points to 0. What a turn-up, or is it a turn-up here at Bradford? Because the Bulls have been waiting for this night for 10 weeks. Since they lost the cup at Wembley, they said, well, maybe we'll get revenge in the Super League. At the moment, revenge is sweet.
Not for that guy, though. He must wonder what on earth has happened to his defensive side. Australians work very hard. Brian Smith, Sean McRae, they know all about that defence will bring you the spoils eventually. But the skills from Bradford tonight is outstanding. The big problem with the Saints side is holding possession. The only time that they are getting it anywhere near the Bradford half is when they put the kick. But the Bulls are finding it so easy to get back over the halfway line.
This is Stuart Spruce again. Lowe's the dummy half. He gets it away to McDermott. Good tackling by Derek McVie, and he's leaning all over the back of McDermott as he tried to get to his feet. Here's Doniger, making good yards even though he had 2 and 3 men round him, kept those legs pumping. McNamara to Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul just dancing and playing with this St Helens defence. Oh, now they won't. That's a good tackle by Scott Gibbs. Lachlan wrestled to the floor by Norley. Better defence from St Helens. They've penned Bradford in their own half. The kick downfield from McNamara bounces kindly for Prescott. Well, it's a crisis for St Helens, and look at the missed tackles that the league leaders have made and the clean breaks that Bradford have made. All one-way traffic at the moment.
Well, sometimes you're looking to make that many clean breaks in an entire game where we've just gone over the quarter line. Well, a bit of relief now, a penalty. Much needed relief, I can tell you, for the Saints side, who are just looking completely bemused out there. We know that they're without the leader, Bobby Goulding, but they have just been blitzed both in attack and defence.
Andy Leatham, his drive, Cunningham the dummy half to pick a Vance. Good tackling by McDermott, helped out also by Graham Bradley. The standoff almost acts as an extra forward, doesn't he? Prescott, nowhere for him to go. Fogarty.
Well, it's one-out stuff, I'm afraid, from the Saints. You could see that Fogarty was looking for support. None was there.
Hammond. They need a try, Saints. Pickavance has dropped it, though, and Bradley has it back.
Hammond tried a little dummy and then got the ball underneath, but I'm afraid that Pickavance was not watching. They're trying things, but they're not coming off.
McDermott again. 23 minutes almost on the clock. Bradford Bulls 20. The Saints 0. Ball out wide again. This is where the danger comes in the shape of Scales, who gets the pass away, and Northey has to haul Robbie Paul down.
Well, it's not just luck that they're finding the gaps. They're working for each other. Dummy runners, they really are just pulling this defence to them. Saints have been sucked in so often.
Doniger again. Defence once more from Cunningham. Little chip through by McNamara, trying to use that little slope in the corner as the turf goes up over the speedway track here.
Well, for the first time in this game, they lost the plot there. You can see McNamara wanted the winger coming through. Scales either forgot about it or didn't know that it was on. Lack of communication on that occasion. But look at the scoreline. 20 points to 0. This is a beautiful performance by the Bradford Bulls.
Cunningham now trying to instill some life into his side. Let's go down to the touchline. Bill Arthur with John Keir.
Apollo Perolini gets his first touch of the ball. He's come on in place of Adam Fogarty. John Keir alongside me on the touchline. Saints had to do something, John.
Yes, they certainly did. They're having great problems down the right side of their defence. I think there's been about 5 busts down that way, and Bradford Bulls at the minute are just white hot.
Do you think Perolini could make the difference?
Well, I think Sean McLean had to try something, because 20 points still, it's quite a serious situation. They've just got to cling on till half-time and they get the win behind them.
Stuart Spruce mops up that little kick through. It was the most danger that Bradford have been in so far. Calland.
Well, it was the first constructive thing that we've seen from the Saints. It was an angle kick there, back underneath the post, but Stuart Spruce positioned himself well.
Bradford, their last win here against St Helens, April 1994. Nickel, though, tackled by Perolini, wants to make sure that in July 1996 the Bulls are in winning money again, and Perolini penalised because he wouldn't get away from the grounded player.
Well, he was trying to make sure that the Saints defence could get back into a line. You could see a couple of them going past him, but another great run here from Sonny Nickel. He's enjoying playing against his old club.
Yes, Sonny Nickel enjoying this moment, as is Paul Loughlin, who has it now. Good quick hands to Spruce. Stuart Spruce still. And this is a stunning performance from Bradford Bulls. There's McNamara. Furbank stands, gives it to Paul. Through the gap again goes Nickel. It was a good job that Newlove was there. Lowe's. Robbie Paul wanted it. Lowe's turns it back the other way, gives it to McNamara. Tackled by Perolini and Pickavance.
An amazing display, because very rarely do you find that the Bradford side go one out. 4, 5, 6 passes on the go all the time.
That was a lovely ball from Doniger to Bradley. Bradley, a difficult man to put down, inching his way towards the line all the time. And that's the try line that the St Helens side are defending desperately. Bradley picks himself up eventually. Plays the ball. Dabbed through by Lowe's, it's into space, and Prescott has to hack it over the pits.
Put the pressure on. Good kick from Lowe's. He really has turned out into a wonderful footballer this season in Super League. A tremendous season so far since he came from Leeds.
The applause in the background is because Bradford have made a change. Carl Furbank has been spelled. He is off, and Paul Medley comes on. And that will not spell anything other than yet more pressure for Bradford, because Medley is a very dangerous runner, as is McDermott. Now Lowe's. There's Medley, first touch. Strong run. Greeted by Pickavance. Lowe's. Robbie Paul. Good ball to McNamara. On the inside is Loughlin, who drops it. Chance for the counter-attack. No. Good defence.
He caught one for his corner there, did the big centre. But the way that this Bradford side are running the angles, bringing people back on the inside, the switches of play, it's outstanding, this. McNamara at the end of it. There you see Lachlan really did catch a high one.
It's Gibbs. Gibbs for St Helens, almost with his shirt ripped off his back. Now here comes Perolini. He's grounded on the halfway line. St Helens need a try. Nice play, inventive play from McVie. Tosses the ball back inside. Northey, Perolini. It's desperation stuff on the last tackle. This is more like it from the league leaders. Pickavance, Prescott. Prescott releases the pass. Newlove keeps it going. Pickavance, brilliant, out the back door. Leatham, Arnold, still Arnold. Little kick from Arnold, and Doniger took him out. But the referee is not impressed by the St Helens claims for a penalty.
Well, that'll lift their spirits. You could see that Doniger definitely moved towards Danny Arnold. Well, the winger not happy with that decision from Stuart Cummings. But that's the first real sign of good quality play from the Saints.
And it was desperation stuff, Steve-O, because they couldn't get the ball to a recognised kicker. McDermott now will run it back for Bradford Bulls. 5 men in their squad tonight who didn't take the field at Wembley 10 weeks ago. Lowe's, McNamara, Tomlinson, Spruce and Tamani. They all weren't there.
Well, a missed tackle count for this Saints side must be horrific at the moment.
52 metres made, 14-1 on the missed tackles. Little dab through, 4 Bulls chasing. Prescott, though, content to allow the ball to run out, and it's on the right side of the post. It could be a scrum.
They're just getting all their options right, aren't they? Outstanding kick through. He really has enjoyed himself, Steve McNamara, one of the most creative forwards running around in Super League. Not only with the boot, but he's so creative as a ball player.
St Helens now will try and get this ball out of the danger zone. Hammond plays it, and Steve Prescott, another run, halted. Wigan 10-6 up against Castleford after half an hour. St Helens, of course, 1 point ahead of Wigan at the top of the table. Wigan, if they win tonight, and Bradford, if they win here, Wigan will go top. But the Saints are league leaders, and they have Scott Gibbs. Great tackle, though, from Stuart Spruce.
Beautiful pass from Derek McVie. He's a man that can get things going. So creative is the big second rower.
McAtee to Newlove. Newlove would like nothing better than to score a try here. Can't get the pass away. Under pressure again from Spruce. Pickavance dabs it through. Not a prop forward's job, really, to kick like that. Tamani. Such strength from Tamani.
Well, it was a wasted kick there from the second rower, Ian Pickavance. I don't know what on earth he was thinking about, but it wasn't a team effort at all.
Ryan McDermott, midway inside the Bulls' half of the field. 31 minutes gone. Remember, Wigan ahead at Central Park. The league leaders trailing here 20 points to 0. Does the pendulum swing in the champions' favour? First half possession is overwhelmingly Bradford's.
Well, that doesn't surprise me at all. And the way that this Bulls side are just ripping them apart. Switch again. Look at how they're keeping it alive.
There's space here for Lachlan. He's got support either side. Doniger cuts inside Prescott and scores another. Jeremy Doniger, the Australian. 6 of the 7 tries he scored for Bradford before tonight have been scored right here.
Hard work on the forwards. We get the link. Bradley out wide. Paul. Look at that lovely long ball. You can see how Scott Gibbs was left in no man's land. Steve McNamara enjoying himself out in the centre, and the big second rower, Jeremy Doniger, just steps back on the outside around Steve Prescott. The ball control from the Bulls is outstanding. This is what we call a great link. Look at Robbie Paul there. You see how he used the dummy runner? It attracts the centre, Scott Gibbs. Lachlan inside. And Jeremy Donoghue running out wide today gets the 4.
Takes the applause from the crowd and applauds them back. Jeremy Donoghue with that try. Missed the defeat at St Helens in April. 3 tries in successive matches for Donoghue. And McNamara now with the conversion attempt again. Gets the range this time. Look at the scoreline. Pinch yourself. You're not dreaming. The Bulls are 26-0 up.
Unselfish run in the dummy runner. Sucks in Scott Gibbs. Long ball out wide. Gibbs knows he's caught. The overlap's on. Lachlan did well. Step on the inside. Little that Prescott could do. This is sweet.
Steve-O, the Saints are a shadow of the side that we have watched, enjoyed and been enthralled by this Super League season. Is it purely and simply because Bobby Goulding isn't there?
Someone's off.
Someone's off! Scott Gibbs is off! I think the use of an elbow in the tackle because of the Bradford ball flat out.
Carrying and straight in. No doubt about it. Into the try scorer, Jeremy Donoghue. Scott Gibbs carrying the football. Raise the elbow. Malicious attack to the head. You'll see it slow. Donoghue felt that. That is a bad one. Oh, that really is a bad one. The impact there, and well spotted by Stuart Cummins. There was no hesitation. You didn't have to be told, the merry whistleblower. He went straight to the back pocket. Out came the red card. Off. And rightly so.
Well, it's gone from bad to worse. Scott Gibbs sent off. And remember, when we saw this match here during the centenary season at Odsal, the Saints had 2 men sent off that night, but they still won. But it's going to be an uphill battle now.
Well, as if the Saints didn't have enough problems. Down to 12 men. The defence in tatters. The morale non-existent at the moment.
You might have noticed that Carl Furbank has returned for Bradford. Sonny Nicol has gone off. Medley! And how about that for a score from Central Park? 12-10 Castleford. How about this for a score, though, at Odsal? 26-0. But Castleford doing their part for the Saints. That ball was knocked forward. Referee says it was legal. Saints have it.
Steve McNamara just getting a little bit overconfident there, but when you're 26 points up, why not? See that McVie just got in the way of it. This is a blitz. This is a thrashing. Make no bones about it. They've been helped by some shoddy tackling by St Helens, but the creative play from the Bulls has been outstanding.
Just let me repeat once again that scoreline from Central Park, keeping you up to date here tonight with events at Wigan. And it's 10-12. Latest score just before half-time over there as we are here. So it's building up this to be quite a dramatic night in Super League, isn't it?
And what a result if it stays that way. Bradford, it opens the door, doesn't it?
That's just happened. Wigan have responded 16-12 at Central Park. 26-0 here at Odsal. Bradford Bulls against the league leaders.
They've probably just been told the scoreline here at Odsal. 26-0.
Lovely ball again to Paul. Lachlan out wide. Drags them back on the inside. There's another coming here for Stuart Spruce. Oh, Stuart Spruce under the sticks. And the man who has set Bradford alight since he moved over from Widnes gets another try. And they're chanting easy, easy now. And you have to agree, it is easy for the Bulls.
Little doubt about that. The fans enjoying chant easy, easy. McNamara again. See how he offloaded to Robbie Paul. Again the dummy runner. Sucked in the defence. Callan comes back on the inside. Like all good fullbacks, Stuart Spruce, he wants action. He's got it. He's got 4. Yes, yes, yes.
Stuart Spruce then. Well, I just can't believe what we're seeing here tonight. It's an annihilation. Steve McNamara now, 3 out of 5. This one is bang in front. It'll be 4 out of 6. You're going to stake your house on that. This crowd is watching one of the Bradford performances of all time.
The skills of Robbie Paul. You see his left arm saying, come on the inside. Unselfish running again. See how they took it. Long ball out wide. Lachlan to Calland, back on the inside. Full back, let's go. Let's take more points. Well, we said it was going to be a carnival atmosphere before the game. It's turned out a jamboree as well.
Steve-o, I think that the Bradford fans can't believe this either. I don't know whether he can believe it, the Bradford coach, Brian Smith, but this fella can't. Sean McRae, he must be wondering where the wheels have gone.
Well, he looks just as blitzed as his team out there. And to be fair to Brian Smith, I spoke to him after their victory against London last week, and I said it was one of the best defensive efforts I've seen. He said, you ain't seen nothing yet. He's right. This is wonderful stuff.
They get the ball away, though. McAtee has to take the tackle, though, from Robbie Paul. The kick is from McVie, straight into the arms of Stuart Spruce. You know, Steve-o, there's an old saying, if you're out of the team, sometimes you have your best game. How much are St Helens missing Bobby Goulding?
A lot, but not that much. Nothing could have stopped this. They became their own worst enemy, I'm afraid, Saints. They missed so many early tackles. You've got to build your confidence. There's a swinging arm. The big Australian Derek McVie getting very frustrated. And thankfully there, Stuart Cummings slowing things down, giving the penalty. Not much to say between two of them.
Coach,
it's all been said, hasn't it?
Coach and captain are silent on the bench. They cannot wait, I'm sure, to get into the dressing rooms and sort this out. Mind you, St Helens are down to 12 men, remember. Scott Gibbs, the Welsh international, sent off just a few minutes ago. A minute to go to half-time, and St Helens will have to try and salvage something from the wreckage of this game in the second 40 minutes. Hammond wrestles Robbie Paul to the ground.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't want half-time to come. This is excellent stuff from the Bulls.
I'm sure Brian Smith doesn't want half-time either.
I don't think the players do. They aren't finished yet. Dying seconds. It's got to be a penalty.
Yes, ball stolen in a two-man tackle. The Saints, Steve-o, will be desperate for half-time.
I'm not so sure. I think they'd like full-time before half-time. Let's get out of Otzel again. You see the incident. Interference with McNamara there with Perellini. Someone down below. It's okay 1-on-1, but not 2-on-1.
And McNamara will take the opportunity to have another kick at goal here at 32 points to 0. And right on the stroke of half-time, 34-0 at the half-time siren. Would do nicely, thank you, I would think Brian Smith would say. An incredible 40 minutes in the Super League. An unbelievable first half. McNamara accepts the 2. 34 points to 0 here at Odsal. No, pinch yourself. You are not dreaming. That is the scoreline. Bradford Bulls in third place before we started tonight. St Helens, the league leaders, before we started tonight. And St Helens have been taken well and truly to the cleaners. 6 tries. Paul Lachlan scored one of them against his former club, as did Sonny Nicol. We've had more from Bradley, Tamani, Doniger and Spruce. Bobby Goulding and the rest of the St Helens side are shell-shocked as they leave for the safe haven of their dressing room. They trail here to probably Bradford's best ever performance, 34-0.
on Sky.
Here she comes.
Packed with talent.
Hello.
Red hot action.
God, interesting.
Romance.
Man, I was supposed to marry someone.
Comedy.
I suppose this is your idea of a joke.
Humor! I love it!
Holiday movies.
Isn't it all very exciting?
Sport.
Yes.
And much, much more.
That's so impressive.
Rain heaven.
Coming in August on Sky.
Show a little spirito di punto.
Check the mirror. Too close. Mirror, mirror.
I'm looking at my mirror.
Signal. Hey, come on. I love you. I'm sorry. You're a great driver.
Spirito di punto.
We asked our customers why they buy the car insurance from Admiral, and they told us, because they save money. Admiral saved me £100, Admiral saved me £192, Admiral saved me £80. I saved £240. I can't promise I'll save you money, but if you're currently paying over £300, call Admiral now on 0990 600 800. You've got nothing to lose. That's 0990 600 800.
VL5 styling wax, moulds and shapes. So at least your hair will behave.
This fella makes calls from payphones without putting money in. He makes calls from other people's phones and never pays them a penny. And so do his children. How do they do it? They use a BT charge card. With one of them, any call made away from home is automatically charged to your home phone bill. Call this number now and get BT charge cards for your family. They're free and worry-free.
Well, St Helens knew tonight that they faced their most difficult match on their 8-game run into what they hope will be their first title since 1975. But look at that scoreline at half-time. Bradford Bulls 34, St Helens, the league leaders, 0. A quite incredible first 40 minutes. A match that I suppose if people watching at home would just be tuning in, they would expect St Helens to be winning, being league leaders. But Bradford, they really have taken them apart in the first 40 minutes. John Keir, who is seconded to the Rugby League over in Paris, helping them for Super League survival. What do you make of all this?
Well, I think they'll be absolutely shell-shocked because I've never seen such a complete 40-minute performance that we've had from the Bulls. I think you can count on the fingers of one hand how often that Saints have been into the Bulls 20 and they've been all from kicks, and I know Bradford have got the wind behind them, but they've been absolutely superb. They've run the angles, they've moved the ball about, they've asked questions round the ruck, wide out, up the blind side. They've absolutely ruined St Helens.
From a coaching point of view, what do you say now to St Helens league leaders and this situation, 34-0 down at the break? What does Sean McRae do?
Well, I think first of all, to start from 0-0, that will be the first priority. But the second one, he'll lay it on the line, I think, that there's one or two positions up for grabs, because there's certainly been some indifferent performances from some of the Saints players, and people who you'd perhaps expect to lead when you've got people like Golding and Joint out, and they've been quite anonymous.
Yes, anonymous. I think that's a very good word from John Keir, Steve-O, to describe St Helens in that first 40 minutes.
They were awful, especially with their defensive pattern. But let's not take anything away from Brian Smith, the Bradford coach, because he's obviously looked at the videotapes. Scott Gibbs back. This is only his second game after being off for 6 weeks. We've had Alan Hunt, who's been playing in the centres, now onto the wing. So Alan Hunt has been used to getting himself involved, coming in and tackling, and that is where the big gaps have been. They have just utilised the blind side. They've ripped St Helens apart. I've never seen a side demoralised so quickly in my life.
Well, that's it. They have been demoralised. I mean, they must be sitting in there now, and as John says, they are shell-shocked, demoralised. They're wondering where they go from here.
So they should be, because it's not a matter of, OK, that they did pick out the weaknesses, but I'm sure that even Brian Smith, I'm sure that the players didn't realise that they would make it so easy.
Mind you, they're no mugs, Bradford, are they? Let's be fair. They're third in the table.
Well, of course, they're a great side, but the thing is, so are Saints. Saints are no mugs, but they're showing it today. And they've got to have a bit of pride as well. They've got to put a little bit more effort back into it. I'm sure that that's what Sean McRae's saying. Say, hey, you've got this jumper on, do something about it, because there's a few out there that aren't. You've got to work for the full 80. They've only done 40, and the game's virtually gone.
Well, we've said all along that they're not a one-man band, but with Bobby Goulding off the field, John Keir, they look as though they are a one-man band.
They certainly do. They're rudderless at the minute. I mean, Kieran Cunningham's still making the odd yards, but they're absolutely rudderless. The kicking game's been indifferent. We've had different people kicking, although the little group kick from McVeigh was quite good. The rest of the kicking's been very, very poor indeed. And it's allowed Spruce to counter and so on and so forth. So
you could have had 13, you could have had 40 Bobby Gouldings out there, and I'm telling you, it would have made no difference. Bradford are just running so hot.
And they're so good that's making St Helens look so bad.
Yes, and they just cannot get off the floor.
All right, Alan Hunt's mistake got them off to an awful start, didn't it? Let's take a look at that now.
That was the biggest problem that they found, was that the situation where, right in the corner, where Alan Hunt, I didn't think this was a knock forward. It looked back to me.
Is that the knock on? I don't know.
Well, who knows, but it came off one way or the other. Either way, they got the head in the feed, and from it, again, working the blind side.
Let's have another look at that, because it's an important incident, this, because it's 0-0 at this stage, right early in the game.
Well, you can see how they work on the blind side there, and the ball gets through. Bradley is there once again, the creative player. We mentioned him before the match. They really have worked as a team. Alan Hunt thought he was away.
And it could have been 4-0 at the other end.
Well, that's back,
it's 4-0 here.
Well, I can't see how that's a knock-on forward. Either way, mistake from the referee, gave them the head and feed. They worked the blind side again, and they worked it very, very well. They know that the Saints' weakness, and Saints' weakness is that they have not started.
They're still on the bus, aren't
they? Not only that, last week or whatever, I don't know where they are, but they certainly are at Odsal.
Well, Bradford most certainly are, and Wigan are playing at Central Park. They have got a massive match for themselves as well tonight against Castleford Tigers, the champions in the first half. Let's find out what the situation is there. We go to the ground live now, and we join Graham Beecroft.
It was the best possible start for Wigan, who scored within 5 minutes when Jason Robinson went over and Farrell converted. But Castleford hit back when Buttiker got a penalty, and then Lee Crooks bulldozed his way over, Buttiker missing a fairly easy chance by his standards. Wigan went back in front after the crowd heard the score over at Odsal. It lifted the players. Tariga Marler bulldozed his way over to make it 10-6. No conversion, and when Tony Smith kicked through to make it 10-10, and then Buttiker converted, Castleford were surprisingly up. But then just before half-time and straight away, Andy Johnson got a try back, and Farrell converted to make the half-time score Wigan 16, Castleford 12.
So 16-12 at Central Park, the champions ahead, and I bet they can't believe the news that's coming in from Odsal, that St Helens are trailing here by 34 points to 0. I can't believe it either, and neither can Steve-O and John Keir. But I wonder if Madonna can. I think that's Madonna. You can see the way they build things up here at Odsal. They've got it right off the field, and tonight they have got it right on the field as well. The Bull's on his way home. He thinks the job's done. It's only half done because it's half-time at Odsal. This Friday match is proving one of the stories of this Super League season, and the Bulls are ahead by 34 points to 0.
Sit tight, mate. Just collecting. Shut up. Wait, have I told you to stay in the van? Oh, I don't know.
But this is the best of feasts, bar none.
You're dead right, it is bar none. No feast bar, none at all. Here's one luscious ice cream, chocolatey biscuity bits, and even more toffee gooiness. And now it's 10% bigger.
We don't have to take that sort of stick, young man.
You're right, Wall's feast bar, the feast bar none, and no stick.
Every age has a different kind of beauty. Organics with Glucozil nourishes your hair's living roots to give you vitality and shine from the first time you use it. A deeper beauty that comes from the root. Organics from the Alida Hair Institute for inner beauty that shines through.
Wally.
Go play somewhere else. Look, I've only got one pair of hands, all right?
Oi, Sue! How'd you get your grey so grey?
It's called half. And half. An eloquent testament to the simplicity of modern purchase. It's saying you only pay for half, yet you drive an entire brand new Ford today. And this says you don't pay the other half for 2 years, or you return the car. And yet, in between, and so simple, it's brilliant, is nothing. Huh? Nothing. No interest, no repayments. I love it for its accessibility.
Half and half. Now viewing at your Ford dealer.
Good morning, madam. I'm in the area today doing extension. Don't spray me on the
Let's go to the tournament.
Right, that's it. I got enough. Need to leave people alone, rest of them, and they'll be fine.
When a man fights for his country, he thinks of his family, his friends, and the pride of his nation. When a man fights for his country, he knows that the loser will be forgotten. Australia take on the might of New Zealand in a tri-nation tournament, both sides relishing the new challenge of South Africa. There's a battle on, Saturday morning at 3:15 a.m. on Sky Sports.
They scored 12 tries in their last home game against Sheffield, 10 against Workington, 11 against Paris, 9 against Leeds. They have scored 6 in the first half here against the league leaders. Bradford Bulls 34-0 up. And just look at the statistics. 19 missed tackles by the Saints. 18 clean breaks by Bradford Bulls. Handling errors, low counts. And Sean McRae and Mike Gregory, the coaching duo at Knowsley Road, with big problems. I'm sure that Sean McRae has done all his talking in the dressing room, and now they are playing for pride, if nothing else. Wigan ahead at Central Park. Bradford winning in a canter here at Odsal, 34-0. The Stones Super League is suddenly going to turn upside down on July the 5th, the way things are going. The Bulls restart. McNamara launches the first kick, and it bounces from Medley. Oh, and they put another try down. That was Lowe's. The ball bounced for Medley. He got the pass away. Lowe's couldn't wheel it in.
Try time. Beautiful kickoff. And again, Saints caught napping. They allowed it to bounce. Medley did well. Just a little bit in front of the hooker. And look how many were there to support.
That would have been one of the quickest tries in rugby league history. The game was 10 seconds old when James Lowe's put the ball down.
Unbelievable
Here
stuff
we go
there.
again.
But they applied the pressure. Once again, Bradford Bulls just thinking. They're really not just out-muscled this Saints side. The thought factor has come into it. Neat little kick-off. Put the pressure on again.
Cunningham's dropped that. The Saints are saying it was pulled away from him.
It was. But it was one-on-one because McNamara hadn't made the tackle at that point. I think you'll find that there's a fingertip just gets in there.
Yes, it was.
And it's one-on-one, so
well
that should have been okay.
Well spotted. Your eyes aren't that bad. So Bradford back in possession, as they have been for so much of this match. Fogarty returns. Fogarty gets the tackle in.
Was that a little punch there that we saw from Fogarty? Crowd on the far side seemed to think so.
Well, 34-0 against the Saints, the league leaders. Can they repeat it next Friday in the Sky Sports Friday match? Bradford Bulls against the champions here. You can see it live and exclusive with us. And if you've enjoyed this, I fancy you'll enjoy that. Lachlan gets the ball out to John Scales. He cuts inside Norby. Scales is one of the most improved wingers in the game. That was a two-man tackle. Derek McVie, you cannot do that.
You can see that Prescott's involved as well. McVie takes the ball away. I think more in frustration than anything. Just to stop the rampaging Bulls getting more and more points. Desperation stakes there. The Australian knows it's an uphill battle.
Fogarty and Perolini haul Jeremy Doniger down.
Not so sure he played that correctly.
Lovely running from Medley to take the pass from Paul, and he runs straight over the top of Ian Pickavance. Quick play the ball. Lowe's gets the pass away. Calland. Here's Furbank. This is McDermott. Desperate defence again, this time from McVie. He's hanging on. Bradley. McNamara. McAtee with the tackle. Here's Lachlan again. He stole the dummy. Has he got the try? No, the referee holds the hand up for the last tackle. Out wide to Scales. He gets the try. They've started where they left off. And this is payback time for Wembley in a big way. John Scales with the try.
I know they've only got 12 out there, but this is something close to being classified as pathetic. Fogarty way out on the wing situation, and that is just a gift. No pressure applied. McNamara had all the time in the world. They didn't even apply pressure to him. The prop forward out on the wing, easy.
John Scales with the try. And I think Steve McNamara has had about 2, maybe 3 attempts from bang in front, but he's still got 5 from 7. Another one, tight to the touchline, difficult angle, but right-footed kicker, at least on the right side of the field. He's hit it too shallow. Mind you, who needs to convert when you're scoring tries like this? 38-0.
6 defenders, 1 wingman. The equation doesn't really count, and he gets in. That is so easy. A coach's nightmare, that situation. 1 on 6.
Here's Alan Hunt. Oh, what a crunch from Furbank, and it was an illegal crunch. The referee's gone to his pocket. Furbank's off.
Yep. Over the top of the head. Fairbank can't believe it. But Stuart Cummins is spot on. He was in a good position. Well, a rush of blood there by Carl Fairbank when it wasn't needed. At 38 points to 0, this is the last thing you should be doing. He should have gone low. He didn't. It's quite clearly over the top of the shoulder. Alan Hunt's head went back. And now we both 12 on 12. It was a bad one. You can see great positioning by the referee.
And the referee again never hesitated as he went to the back pocket for the red card. And Furbank sent off for the second time this season, sent off earlier on at Sheffield.
Well, we don't need that. 38-0. That is just sheer stupidity. Brian Smith will have plenty to say about that.
Well, it's levelled up now in terms of numbers. Doniger goes off and Sonny Nicol returns. It's 12 against 12 now, and this is Fogarty. Much better run from Fogarty. Eventually hauled down by Medley. Cunningham, the dummy half. McAtee. Hammond. Gets the ball away to McVie again. Derek McVie, Steve-O, has been the Saints' most potent weapon in attack.
He's been trying out wide, but to little avail, I'm afraid.
Cunningham gets the ball to Newlove, and Newlove scores. Well, Nicol and Loughlin came up with scores against their former clubs in the first half. Newlove responds in the second with his 21st Super League try of the season.
Well, it all came about by good work by the prop forward, Adam Fogarty. Got them in a position. Good work from Cunningham. And good support there by the big centre. Well, at least they've got score on the board. You'll see young Jung McAtee just held the ball up. Good upper body strength there from the hooker. Sends in the big centre. Well, Newlove will enjoy that, but he won't enjoy the scoreline.
There was no celebrations by Newlove for the try. None at all. Prescott with his first conversion attempt of the night. 1 from 1, 38-6. No celebrating, though, on the St Helens side.
Well, for once we see that the defence is caught napping. He goes in for McAtee, and that's where the gap appeared. And once the support play was there. Well, this is Fogarty on the rampage. We haven't seen much of that from the forwards from Saints today, but it was good work by Fogarty.
Spruce takes the tackle from Picker-Vance and Hammond. Stuart Spruce, he has eyes on an international jersey again. He was selected for his country in his witness days, and there's a Lions tour beckoning at the end of the season. And Spruce and Steve Prescott, two of the leading candidates.
Well, they both called their eye this season. Stuart Spruce especially, he's taken his chances since he's come to Otsel. He must be in and about.
Bradley picks himself up eventually from the three-man tackle. That's better, and it's McVie again. He's one player on the St Helens side, Steve-O, I think, who can hold his head up.
I have to agree with you. Now, the big problem now for the Bradford side is not to slow things down.
Was that a forward pass?
Looks all right to me.
And was that a flop by Lowe's? Certainly the St Helens man, McAtee, it was, didn't like it.
Well, no one else was tackling, so it can't be in a flop.
This now is Cunningham, McAtee, Hammond, and here's Picker-Vance.
That's going to be a penalty, dragging off the headgear. Well, they're losing the cool a little bit. I know they've got a very commanding lead at 38-6, but this is silly play by Bradley. Quite clearly takes it off. Well, Picker-Vance didn't take too kindly to it, neither did Stuart Cummings. I'm sure that the Bradford Bulls coach Brian Smith won't either. They can't just shut up shop. There's still plenty of time. Who knows what a quick try from Saints could do to them.
Well, they've had one second half, and they're looking for more now with McAtee. Oh, Medley, clean hit on the little scrum half. There's McVie again. Covered every blade of Otsel tonight. McAtee, good ball. Northey, and it had to be a good tackle from Nicol. Great defence. That was super from McNamara. Cunningham dabs through. Cunningham, try! They've scored another, Saints. They're showing pride at last. And Kieran Cunningham, he took advantage of a dozy defence to score his 6th try of the season.
Well, 2 moments of madness, and the Bradford side have allowed Saints to have a slim chance of coming back into this game. We said, what would the new score it would change the complexion perhaps, and it did. Good work by the hooker Cunningham. And you could see for the first time that the Bradford defence didn't apply the pressure. They just stood off him. Good thinking. Nobody went for him. No one at home either. Great work from the hooker.
Kieran Cunningham, 4 tries in his last 5 matches. We mentioned possible Lions tourists. There's another. Cunningham, the St Helens hooker. Well, is it beyond the bounds of possibility that St Helens might claw their way back into this? Not with kicks like that. That nearly hit the corner flag, never mind the goal posts.
You can see the hesitation. The dotted line is where they should have been. Try to just clamp him down. Good thinking, though, by Cunningham.
So Cunningham's try not improved. 38-10 here at Odsal.
Well, we said they had to play with a lot more pride, and they're doing that. 2 rushes of blood there. First with Fairbank getting sent off, and then we see the experienced Bradley giving away a silly penalty by reefing the headgear away.
Chris Morley, Welsh international, is on the field for St Helens. Penalty, meanwhile, to Bradford. He was shoved, Stuart Spruce, as he tried to regain his feet. Former teammate, of course, Carl Hammond at Widnes. 2 ex-Widnes players there.
Well, that'll be a relief for the Bulls, who I'm sure now will just roll up the sleeves and get the big forwards marching on. Still nothing much to smile about on the bench there.
Bradley takes them over halfway once again. Score from Central Park, 18 points all, 16 minutes into the second half. Getting a bit silly here at Odsal. Hammond and Bradley.
Well, this is the last thing that they want to start doing. Bradford have to realise they've been sucked into this. Niggling player to play the ball, few words spoken. Well, the experience of Graham Bradley has been around long enough now. They've got away with a penalty on this occasion. But Brian Smith must be getting the word out and saying, hey, come on, fellas. Let's get back to a game called rugby league.
18 all at Central Park. 38-10 here at Odsal. It might not be such a catastrophic night for St Helens after all. 18 apiece there. Can Castleford hang on? It's a gripping race for this first Super League title. Who said it was 2 horses, by the way? Bradford are coming up on the rails. And if they win here tonight and beat Wigan next week, oh, look out. Bradford-Wigan next Friday night, live and exclusive here at Odsal. They'll try and do to Wigan what they've done so far to St Helens, but this isn't over yet. Long ball, McNamara, Medley tabs it through, took a tumble, and McAtee came up and cleared it for Saints.
Well, when you get forwards kicking through like this, that means you've lost the plot somewhat. They've got to get back to the game plan that we saw in the first 40 minutes, which was superb, but that's good defence.
McNamara, Calland, and then Medley coming in for good measure to bring down one Danny Arnold. Let's go down to the pitch side. A delighted Bradford ball. Paul Cook with Bill.
Well, maybe not so delighted, Paul. Your comment was that Brian Smith will be going ballistic at this second half performance.
Well, he said to the team at half-time that, do we remember Wembley? When was leading by 14, 16 points and Saints come back and snatch victory at Wembley, and that was one of the worst feelings I've ever felt, and I know all the boys in the team felt. And Brian Smith just kept saying, remember Wembley, and he goes, don't let them score, just keep plugging away. And they scored 10 points early on, and it looks like there could be a game on our hands.
There could be a game on. You're right, Paul Cook. 12 men on each side now. Both of them have had players sent off. Gibbs for St Helens first half, Fairbank for Bradford second half. So level playing field, but 38-10. St Helens will think they're running up Everest. But can they do it? Can they come back? Big ask, but Brian Smith right. He said, remember Wembley, and it's payback time. Loughlin, Scales! bouncing off one. That was Northey. Couldn't get away from Prescott. Second effort, Nicol. Terrific defence. Oh, Nicol kicking out. Lowe's comes this way. Cluster of players around Sonny Nicol again. And Nicol is held up just short.
Desperate defence there by the Saints. They scrambled back well.
Oh, and McAtee's pinched it. Intercepted, and Lowe's got a hand on that. It's back to 0 in the tackle count again. Perolini tries to get round Spruce. Good ball. Newlove is hauled down by Bradley. And Arnold hauled down by Bradley.
McAtee did well there, position himself, and he's got to do something about all this. It's getting very, very scrappy.
He's gone to the back pocket again. Someone's in the bin.
Bradford really.
Graham Bradley's in the bin.
Well, they're being sucked into this. He's got enough experience out there, Graham Bradley. The big Australian knows that the side is making a real meal of this. Wonderful first 40. You've got to be penalised for that. Professional foul. You can't get away with it. He tried to stand and plant Danny Arnold's head in the ground.
Well, at the moment, Bradford have got just 11 men on the field, and Stuart Spruce now is only just getting back into position defensively because he was back and being treated for an injury. So it's 12 men against 11. Hope you're keeping up with this. Hope we are keeping up with it also. Newlove with a little run. Hammond, the dummy half. Great strength from Morley, but good tackling from McDermott and Medley. Do you know, anything could happen in this match. McAtee to Northey. He gets the try, or did he drop it? The referee, Stuart Cummings, hands the decision on to the video ref. And this is a big call. Look at Northey, the blood streaming down. Did he drop it?
He caught the boot.
Oh, that's a try.
He's got it down well, but he catches a boot for his trouble. Andy Northey. Good time. Now, did he have control of it? From that angle, I'm not so sure. No, I think he's okay. This is a close call. It was a lovely little pass from John McAtee. And I think he's got downward pressure on that angle. That looks okay.
That looks a good try.
He seems to be controlling it with the downward pressure.
So it's not our decision, it's the decision of the video official tucked somewhere away at Odsal. Here it comes. No try. Well, that could be the decision that turns this Super League season.
That really would have put the cat amongst the pigeons, wouldn't it? Well, it's a close call, this one. Now, on this angle, lost control perhaps just for a moment. The rule states you have to have full control in the action of scoring at all times.
Northey is off the field. His head is being patched up in the blood bin. Andy Haig has come on, and I think Andy Northey will believe that he scored a try. When he comes back out of the dressing room with stitches in the wound, he's got a bit of a surprise.
Well, it was nearly a surprise there for Alan Hunt. He went through for the intersects, just didn't get to it in time.
McNamara's flattened now.
Well, this could get out of hand. Thankfully, we've got an experienced referee in Stuart Cummings. McNamara running in. And he hit the ball. He swung the arm, that there's no doubt. But it was not over the top of the head. You can see him make contact with the ball. That's a fair tackle. The slow motion replay shows it quite clearly. Watch for the impact on the ball. Unfortunately there for Steve McNamara, the arm was in between. He's calling him over though.
He's calling the captain, Robbie Paul, over as well. And he's got the touch judge with him. I think Derek McVie might be going on report here, and he will. The disciplinary committee will take another look at that this week. Bradford have got the penalty, but for mine, it was contact with the ball first, was it?
Yep. Well, little doubt that he made contact with the ball, but he ricochets up into the face. But McNamara's arm was in between. Was it a mistake? Was it an accident? The way things are going, who knows these days?
Well, there's still plenty of time left in this match. The gap is 28 points. It's probably too much to expect as St Helens come back, but with mistakes like that from Medley, anything can happen here. He dropped the ball.
Well, Brian Smith must be going bananas. Well, what a wonderful 40 minutes from the Bulls. And they've just lost the plot completely.
The word Paul Cook used was ballistic. Brian Smith will be going ballistic in his eyrie here at Odsal.
All right, ballistic bananas then. But they've got to realise they've got to get back to the game plan. Play out their full complement of 6 and get the kick downfield.
Another brave run from Adam Fogarty, and he gets the pass away to Alan Hunt. Alan Hunt rounds McNamara, floats the ball out wide to Arnold. Danny Arnold still. Good tackle from Tamani.
Good play by Alan Hunt there. He hasn't given up the ghost.
This is Cunningham. He's spinning out of tackles one way and the other. He's lost it. It's play on, and it's back to 0. It came off a Bradford player. That's what the referee has ruled.
It was a one-on-one situation. That's why it was play on. Good refereeing by Cummings.
Try for St Helens. And is it the hooker and captain, Kieran Cunningham? It is. Well, had the Northey try stood, what a match we'd be having now. Cunningham second.
Well, they're stunned here. Tremendous work. That's where he ruled that it was a one-on-one. That's why it was play on. Good thinking, though, by Newlove, who kept it away. You see how he attracts the defenders. And then from a quick play, the ball, the Bradford defence. I know one thing. The Bradford Bulls started this second half thinking that they were home and easy. I'm not so sure now. Tremendous effort, though, from Kieran Cunningham. We didn't see much from him in the first 40. That's the incident that it was whipped away. You'll see that McDermott got the ball away, and good thinking from the hooker. They're not out of this one.
They're not now. Cunningham's try stands. And just a few moments ago, Steve Prescott from bang in front slotted over another 2. The battle is joined, 38-16.
Well, did he touch that? I think he's made a mistake.
He has, he's touched it.
Tamani has made an awful mistake. And all of a sudden, there's a glimmer of hope on the Saints bench.
Tamani has asked the referee to talk to the touch judge.
He touches it.
He didn't. He did.
Well, I'll be. If they can't see that. It bounces straight down on a different angle. He touched it with both hands, not just one.
And as a result of that, instead of dropping out from under their own posts, Bradford have a penalty on halfway. I said when the sun was shining down and the pre-match entertainment and the build-up was going, the gods are shining on Odsal these days. And that decision confirms it, I think.
Well, a try disallowed. And then that sort of situation. Well, they may be thankful for that, the Bradford Bulls, eventually. McAtee took the gamble for the intercept.
Oh, Robbie Paul. Wrestled to the ground by Kieran Cunningham. And Robbie Paul is hurt. He's out cold.
Cunningham ball and all tackle, and you could see that the weight of Cunningham, just as Paul hit the ground, took the breath away.
He was out for a few seconds, wasn't he?
See how Cunningham spins him. Spins around. Bang! That was a big impact on the ground. Good defence. And you can see that Robbie Paul knows he's heading for a big fall. Well, what a performance by the hooker, Kieran Cunningham, in the second half. He's playing with pride. Let's hope that Robbie Paul's okay.
Steve, week by week, Cunningham plays 100%.
One of the best in the world. He's proved it week in, week out. He was snuffed out in the first 40.
Robbie Paul's okay.
He'll play the football. He's capable of doing that.
It's his 50th consecutive appearance, Robbie Paul, for the Bradford Bulls tonight. He's hardly missed a game for them since he first broke into the team, and he's not going to leave the scene here if he can help. 38-16, 62, 63 minutes gone. Lowe's with the run. Lowe's inching Bradford closer and closer and closer still.
Good run from the hooker. That'll lift this bit. Oh, he's dropped it. He's just dropped the football and no one's seen it. Is it the turnover?
It's the turnover.
Oh, dearie me. I was ready for going bananas myself then.
Now, the word's ballistic.
This is not over, though, I'll tell you.
Well, it looked it, didn't it? It looked dead and buried at half-time.
Well, he should have been, but nerves are jingling here. The crowd is stunned.
McVie again. Here's Cunningham once more, leading from the front, the captain. He's on his own. Now he isn't. He's got support, and that is number 18, Andy Hayes. Cunningham's there again. Perolini just slowing it down. Oh, straight into the arms of Tomlinson. And off goes Tomlinson. Off goes Scales. Chased by Prescott. Great defence from Prescott. Great skill on both sides.
Good run from Cunningham, and then you can see Perolini just launched the ball into the hands, and off he went. Unbelievable. Glenn Tomlinson got it out to the winger, but what a great cover tackle from Steve Prescott. Not only that, make sure that he went into the touch, so Saints will have head and ball.
Here's the latest news from Wigan. Oh, 24-24 after half an hour, second half. All square at Central Park. Saints fighting back at Odsal. What a night this is.
That'll be the knock on.
Morley.
Frustration there. Chris Morley made a real meal of that. A lot of pressure. And it really is a pretty tight situation out there. Stuart Cummings telling the players just calm it down. I know there's a lot of pressure. You can see that McNamara went through with it after the mistake. Naturally didn't like it, threw the ball at him. Sheer frustration been building up
on both sides.
Yeah, throughout this second half. Well, a smile there from Stuart Cummings. He knows that it's not just been pressure on the players. He's had plenty to contend with.
Time's back on. And it's Bradford's head and feet at this scrum. Tomlinson. Oh, Tamani. On the very first pass.
But why on earth would you want to pass it? You've gone through the horrors for the last 10-15 minutes. Let's just calm things down. Tomlinson should have just shoved it up the shirt. Play out the six, kick into the corner.
Well, he's been so impressive since he's come into the side, Joe Tamani, and the referee now has called time off again, and he's calling out Cunningham, and he wants Robbie Paul as well, because I think he wants to pass the message on from Steve-O to calm it down. The referee is laying the law down, and Brian Smith is passing the message down also. He knows this match is in Bradford's pocket if they get their heads together.
You might not be saying that if Saints get it 2 quick tries, and they're capable of doing that.
Well, they'll score from anywhere, this lot, won't they? Cunningham to Perolini. Perolini stepping through. Support again from his captain. Cunningham's having a great game. Cunningham and McVie for St Helens have led from the front. There's a few, I've got a couple of... Oh. John McAtee. There's a spade over here, dig a hole and jump in it.
Well, Prescott dumming. There was a long ball out wide. I think Prescott was trying to get the ball out wide, but there was no one there. It would have just dipped to nobody.
But, Steve, the point I was about to make before that mistake, there's a few St Helens players who have got the Spurs back to a certain degree in this second half.
Well, they've held possession, haven't they? They've been helped a lot, of course, by Bradford's mistake rate, which I think they only made one mistake and one missed tackle in the first 40 minutes. A different complexion to this second half.
That was the right meal of a play of the ball, and the referee has penalised St Helens.
Well, he could see that the man was interfering. The big fella Paul Newlove got involved. Well, this is the time now where the big boot, even though it went backwards, it doesn't matter. There you see the missed tackles, 26, but Bradford's is climbing.
Medley keeps the legs pumping, draws applause from this crowd.
He's played well, hasn't he, since he came on.
St Helens are catching up in the clean breaks as well.
Up the jumper time now.
I doubt it. I don't think these two sides can play like that. Hunt is off and Joey Hayes has come on. Now, last week against Leeds, he scored with his first touch in his first Super League appearance of the season. This is Lowe's. He gets the pass away. He dropped it.
With a knock on.
Stuart Spruce dropped it.
Well.
Try was begging for the fullback.
Just couldn't get it in there. The hand there, perhaps, of Steve Prescott. Just dislodging the football.
Tamani's gone off and Christie's come on.
Good tackle by Loughlin there. Really low tackle. Well, here is the youngster.
Well, we featured him on Boots and All Thursday night. And he said he wants to get back in the swing of Super League. 24-25 at Central Park. I don't believe it. 4 minutes to go there. We're way behind time here. And a mistake by Cunningham. Castleford have edged ahead at Central Park.
Well, he must have told him the scoreline, because he just made a real meal of it.
He must have heard us.
He cannot believe it.
Let's go straight down to Bill.
I tell you what, when that scoreline from Central Park flashed up and Sean McRae saw that Castleford were beating Wigan, his reaction had to be seen to be believed. I think he realises what a great chance his side could be blowing tonight. And John Keir alongside me. John, despite the way Saints have come back here tonight, this really is a bad blow for them, isn't it?
It certainly is, yes. Bradford have taken the game by the scruff of the neck, played very well indeed in the first half, but they've been a little disappointed this half. I feel that their discipline's gone a bit, and having a man sent off and Bradley in the sin bin for 10 minutes certainly didn't help their cause.
Well, there you see Robbie Paul going through, was tackled by the big second rower Derek McVie, but he was offside. He didn't make the full 10.
Penalty counts mounting against Bradford.
Well, even if they went for 1 point, psychologically, that would lift them.
This is Tomlinson, ball back on the inside. Great chances, great try! And it's Simon Knox who gets the 4 points that surely seals the game now for Bradford. That will surely take the wind out of the St Helens comeback. Simon Knox with the try.
Neat little play by the substitute, Glenn Tomlinson. Runs the angle, brings Knox back on the inside. He fumbled a little bit, but he had the strength. Ducked underneath the would-be tackler. That'll do it. That's what the Bradford Bulls have been searching for. Nice little flick back on the inside. A planned move, not perhaps executed to their liking, but the result is what they wanted.
So McNamara now with the chance for the extras, his 6th from 9 if this sails over, and 6 from 9 it is. It's a Bradford victory, 44 points to 16. Revenge will be sweet for the Wembley defeat, but it's come at quite a price in this second half.
Good work by Tomlinson. Planned move, just fumbles it. He did well though, didn't he, Simon Knox? Good second effort. That'll do it.
The attendance tonight, 11,467. The best attendance of the season here at Odsal. It was predicted. And next Friday, how many will want to come and see the champions Wigan? I fancy it will be a few more than that. Bradford-Wigan, the Friday match next week here on Sky Sports, over on Sky Sports next week.
There you see Bradley being deemed to have interfered with Perelina. It looked as though he was going for the football, platting it down deliberately, so therefore the penalty was given. Well, it would be nice for me to say we'd love to see a full house here, but this is the place where they had 102,000 plus. You could get about 65, 70,000 in, I would imagine, nowadays. But it will be a big crowd next week.
It surely will. 8 minutes to go.
And what an atmosphere it will be.
And if Bradford play like they played first half, and they tackle like Medley tackled Cunningham then, it's on. Pickavant's good run, support is there, and it's Newlove, his second. Paul Newlove gets two at Odsal on his first return to the ground that he graced as a Bradford player. Now he's gracing Super League in the colours of Saints. 22 tries.
Good run from Pickavant. Nice long ball. You can see they went far too high. He shrugged them off. It was a nice support as well. Good pass from the second row of Pickavant. Newlove gets through. This is what they should have been looking for in the first half. It was non-existent, but the big fella in. But far too late now, I feel. But at least they've shown a lot of pride. They have fought back.
Yes, they've regained a bit, haven't they? Prescott, 2 out of 3. Prescott, 3 out of 4. 44-22. Exactly twice as many for Bradford, and they've been twice as good.
Cunningham once again spinning. He's so elusive, isn't he? Really going. That's a Medley hit, but from here, well, I don't know what elixir that Medley's using these days, but I wouldn't mind some of it. He really is in fine form, isn't he? Nice pass and well finished.
Little more than 6 minutes to go here. I wonder what the news from Central Park will be at the end of this match. I wonder whether Castleford can hang on for what will be a famous victory and would make this bitter pill that St Helens have had to swallow at Odsal a little more palatable.
And the most amazing thing about it is John Joyner, he tipped it tonight in the local newspapers. He said his boys were up for it and he could pull off a shock. Can he do it?
Well, we're in touch with Central Park. We'll bring you the news as soon as we have it. They're way ahead of us here. We'll be still playing when final siren goes at Central Park. 44-22, the score here. When last we heard, Castleford were 1 point ahead with 4 minutes left for play. That's a great kick downfield. McNamara turns Saints round, calms things down.
That's what they should have been doing all the second half. And it's taken them till nearly the end of the game to realise it too. Tremendous stuff by the loose forward, Steve McNamara. He's had a fine game, been involved in attack and defence. Surely he must be another contender for the tour.
Without a doubt. This is Prescott. We have 5 minutes to go here at Odsal. Hammond takes the tackle from Paul and Lachlan. Well, they're still playing and Wigan have gone into a 1 point lead now. 26-25 at Central Park. Great defence here at Odsal for Bradford.
Good work by the winger Scales. He's had a fine game too. Such a big man.
Still playing at Central Park. 26-25. They are in stoppage time at Central Park. 1 point the difference there. Bradford just about home and hosed here. How priceless that 1 point could be for Wigan. They could be going to the top of the table. They will, I think, even if it's a draw at Central Park tonight. They will stay, or rather they will go top of the league, even if it's a draw and their points difference is far superior. Medley with the drive. He's 10 metres short of the line. This is Lowe's. This is Spruce. Spruce gets the pass out wide. It's Robbie Paul. Escapes the clutches of one. Supporters arrive from Spruce. Spruce to Tomlinson. Tomlinson gets the pass out. It Bradford went forward. It'll be no try for Knox. No try.
Well, the combination just didn't come off on that occasion.
Wigan have won it 26-25. They will go top tonight, and this could be the night when the Super League changes complexion completely.
Good work from Tomlinson. Tried to keep it alive. Knox went over, but it was definitely forward. Well, what a night this has been. The first 40 minutes here at Odsal, Bradford were just absolutely superb, but it doesn't half set it up for next weekend. What a game that's going to be. There's the man that will plot the downfall of Wigan perhaps next week.
And it's Bradford-Wigan next Friday. We'll be live and exclusive, and Wigan will be top of the table, and top of the table for the first time this season, with matches level in numbers between the big two, Wigan and Saints. But Bradford, who have had a big say here tonight, have another big say in the destiny of the title next week. Perolini to Prescott. Prescott still. That was obstruction by Arnold. The referee pulls them back. Arnold overran Prescott and got in front of the man aiming for the tackle.
Well, good work by Perolini. The fullback Prescott did the angle, and you could see there that I'm not so sure that it did interfere with the defender, Gary Christie. Perolini come through. Well, I think perhaps that the man had gone. You see, Christie went for the ball carrier. Either way, it makes no difference. The crowd are celebrating this great win. And on the first half performance from the Bradford Bulls, they deserve to cheer. It was excellent.
This is Tomlinson now, and he takes the tackle. Lowe's gets the ball away. Desperate defence from St Helens, at a minute and a half away from a victory. And Bradley's up the middle with a ton of support. Bradley puts on the gas. He's going to win the race to the corner. He finishes with a flurry. His second try, Graham Bradley. And Bradford throw down the gauntlet to Wigan for next week.
Who said he'd got no pace? The big fella went through, Perolini out of the way. He decided, on this occasion, I'm having four myself. What a tremendous run from the big fella. This is outstanding. Beautiful pass on the inside. Tomlinson's made his mark since he came on. It's a shrewd move to bring him out there, but what a great try. He left them all for dead.
Bradley's try, and it just about wraps up a really impressive performance from Bradford for around about 60-65 minutes. They lost the plot a little bit in this second half, but my word, they have sprung back and they have won the game with comparative ease. And McNamara in this form is kicking them from all over the show. They've hit the half century against the league leaders. You'd never have predicted that at 7 o'clock tonight. 50 points to 22. Revenge, they say, is sweet. And for the Bradford public and the Bradford players, revenge really is sweet. It's all over, full time, straight down to the touchline, and Brian Smith with Bill.
They're celebrating at Odsal. Brian, I think a lot of people will find this hard to believe, but obviously not for the coach.
Oh, the scoreline's a bit of a surprise, Bill. You know, we executed some really good plays tonight, and what I've come to learn from these players is that, you know, everything can be, anything can be done, because, you know, they've worked so hard. In the short time we've all been together, they've done really well, and they expected to win tonight. They prepared well for it.
The comment was made at the start of the second half that you might be going ballistic with the way things were going then. You just lost your shape a bit, didn't you?
Yeah, it's pretty hard against quality opposition like we were looking at there tonight. A bit much to ask, I think, Bill, to retain that sort of momentum throughout the course of 80 minutes. We've got to crowd back again. That number 50 over there looks fantastic.
What about next Friday night now? Wigan scraped home tonight by the skin of their teeth by the sound of things. You must be looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, that's probably, and has been even before tonight, the ultimate challenge. St Helens have had their run in the league. Be interesting to see if they can get back up again. You come to expect Wigan to go all the way, don't you? You know, you expect them to go the full way to the wire, but I think they might have got the message. They're in for a game. We'll see how good we are.
And if the atmosphere is like this, it's going to be brilliant. Thanks, Brian.
Good on you, Billy.
And good on you, Brian. Good on Bradford. A tremendous win for them here at the Odsal Stadium. Quite sensational performance for an hour of the 80 minutes at least. They've thrown the gauntlet down to Wigan now. Wigan know they're in a battle here in a week's time. St Helens will go home and lick their wounds. What will it do to their Super League ambition? Only time will tell.
Its head in disbelief when the Dark Destroyer lost his title.
I'm not going to make up any excuse, but now it's time to call it a day.
And for the Celtic warrior, his dream showdown looked to be in ruins.
I fought the best. I fought everyone. I've never avoided anyone.
So now, true to his word, Nigel Benn will return to accept the challenge.
To me, Nigel Benn is a legend.
Can the Dark Destroyer once again rule the world? Saturday at 9 on Sky Sports.
So there's no better way of serving your queen and country than to choose a career in MI7. Are there any questions? Yes.
What's the financial package?
Financial package?
You do get issued with a Barclaycard, sir.
Off.
Oh, yeah, with Barclaycard, can't you get medical help abroad?
And legal advice.
And some sort of purchase insurance? Yes, both at home and abroad.
Off. These people will have to survive in locations rather more dangerous than a record shop.
Can I ask about Eastern Europe?
Ah, yes.
Do they take Barclaycard? Well, most countries actually take...
I remember when all an agent had was his charm, his cunning, and if he was lucky...
A biro?
No ordinary biro. 2 clicks of a cap, and it will render any assailant immobile. Very dangerous in the wrong hands. Take over for a boff, would you, moment?
Well, Barclaycard is widely accepted. In fact, you can use it in over 200 countries around the world.
All the washing and brushing in the world won't give your dog a good coat if you don't feed him the right food. Now, I feed pedigree chum, and you can see the reasons why. This new chicken and sunflower oil is Clifford's favourite.
Thanks to our vets and nutritionists at Waltham, the world's leading authority on pet care and nutrition, everything dogs need for a healthy coat they get from Pedigree Chum.
It's so full of meat, they love it. At the end of the day, dogs will be dogs, so the coats don't stay immaculate for long.
Pedigree Chum. Top breeders recommend it.
There are 2 reasons why I like Kellogg's Fruit and Fibre. 1, they use only the finest ingredients. And 2, it's good for my body. So I feel like this, and this.
Kellogg's Fruit and Fibre. You'll feel as good as it tastes.
With special packs of Kellogg's Fruit and Fibre, you could instantly win one of these models of an MGF VVC. And better still, 5 can be driven away.
What's this soca time to flow? Hey, and if you're ready to go, I am ready to go. This is the time for the show. Soca ready to flow. What? Get down, down, nigga. Wine for you, man, nigga. Raise your hand if you love this drama. Raise your hand if you love this drama. Raise your hand if you love this drama. Raise your hand, you do. Raise your hand if you love this drama.
All over Britain, people are waiting for the Reader's Digest prize draw. When the draw takes place, someone, somewhere, is going to win the first prize of £200,000. And that lucky person could be living in your local area. But thousands of other people are going to win cash prizes. So if you receive some prize draw numbers, return them immediately. because the sooner you enter, the more you could win.
Looking for cheaper car insurance? Admiral saved me £100. Admiral saved me £192. I can't promise I'll save you money, but if you come to pay over £300, call Admiral now on 0990 600 800. That's 0990 600 800.
The biggest crowd of the season at Odsal is making its way home after a truly dramatic match here at Odsal. Players from both sides sent off, 11,500 here. Great to be part of it. Now then, the big story is what on earth happened over at Central Park, because Wigan, the champions, were playing tonight at the same time as well. We know that Wigan have won. Let's get the story of the match now from Graham Beecroft.
What a dramatic end to a really exciting game at Central Park. It was the visitors who were leading 25 points to 24 when the referee sin-binned Tony Smith and gave a penalty, controversially perhaps, to Wigan. From 35 yards out, Andy Farrell struck the ball over the bar and Wigan were the victors. Before that, Robinson had got two. Tuigamala had bulldozed his way over after the crowd in the first half had heard how things were going at Bradford, and Johnson got the other. For Castleford, who played really well, Crooks got a try, Smith got a try as well, that's Tony Smith, Tutor and Pallamore, but a misconversion by Bossicker at 6-6 was crucial. Wigan 26, Castleford 25.
God smiling on Wigan then by the looks of things, and that is the way the table looks at the end of this dramatic night. Wigan have taken the lead. They lead now by a point from St Helens. Bradford, with Wigan due here next Friday, are not out of the picture yet, not by a long chalk. What a race this is developing into. Somebody said a two-horse race not long ago. It now surely is a three-horse race. We've been reflecting here in the studio on what has been a quite magnificent evening's entertainment. John Keir, out of the top drawer.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the place is absolutely buzzing. Driving up to the place, it's alive. The entertainment's superb, and the team are on top of their form. I mean, Brian Smith needs complimenting. He's honed them to perfection, and the players went out there and they were absolutely superb for 80% of the game.
Yes, they just lost it a little bit after half-time. I think Wembley came into their mind, didn't it?
Yes, I think they were a bit emotional and really wanting payback time, big style, for Wembley. But once it settled down again, they really finished on a high note. It was superb football.
I lost count as we made our way from the gantry of the number of people who said, Steve-O, give us some credit this time. The Bradford public, of course. Off you go.
Well, they played exceptionally well for the first 40 minutes, and they played well in the last 15 minutes. I thought when Brian Smith sent out Tomlinson, that made a big difference. They were sucked into it. I think St Helens really got the rounds of the kitchen at half-time, and they deserved it fully. And they came out and they showed a lot of pride, they showed a lot of effort, and they were sucked in. There was a lot of talk. It was a very difficult game to referee for Stuart Cummins. I thought he held on to it very, very well. But why on earth Fairbank should start doing something like that when they had such a commanding lead? Bradley giving away silly penalties. These are just small points that I'm sure that Brian Smith will zone in on that. He'll have to make them a little bit more determined to really screw. They've got to get them to the point where if you've got them on the ropes, just hammer them down. They did in the first 40 minutes, but on the whole, they were absolutely tremendous. The way that they'd planned everything, the way that they had these dummy runners, the people who were helping each other. It's called a team game, and this was a fine team effort.
John Keir, what now for St Helens? They go home, lick their wounds, they know that the roles are reversed at the top.
Yeah, it's a double disappointment, actually, because down in the touchline, they were obviously aware that Castleford were doing quite a good job at Wigan, and Bobby Goulding was shouting all the time to Bill Arthur, how long left, how long left? So they really knew they might have got out of jail, but Wigan, in their own inimitable style, they play for 80 minutes, and they've clinched it, so the title race has been blasted wide open tonight.
Has it ever? What a night at Odsal. Now then, let's take a look at the rest of Super League to come. The Saturday match is at the Valley. London Broncos against Sheffield Eagles. We are live and exclusive at the home of Charlton Athletic, Saturday 5:30. You'll be able to enjoy with us the highlights of Halifax and Warrington, Sunday at 10. Next week, boots and all will have plenty to talk about, Thursday at 9. And what about this next week? It's building up to one of the matches of the season in Super League now. Bradford against Wigan. Next Friday, we're live and exclusive back here at Odsal from 7 o'clock, and a huge crowd expected. Then we're hitting the jet, and we're off to Paris on Saturday for the game against London on the weekend that they call Bastille weekend over there. Fabulous action here at Odsal. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a wonderful night. Thanks to John Keir for being with us. See you tomorrow.